Okay, when we're considering project 3, which is when we are thinking about matching color from things that we look at while using those colors from the objects that we choose to be the motivation for our designs. We also want to think about proportions of color. How much color is being brought to the design. So when we choose our object, we want to think about that. Right? You want to look at things in life. Here in this case, I have a toy object that I will use for one of my 2 objects, and I'll show you some student examples here. But I like this object. I want you to think about this for color. No metallic colors. Black or white can't be one of your 3 or 4 colors. You must use 3 or 4 colors. You can have a little black or a little white, of course, but 3 or 4 colors must be colors from on the spectrum, on the color wheel. So, you know, I have this burgundy, this kind of yellow-orange, this kind of peach color, and this blue. And that would be interesting with these kind of warms. And then kind of getting into these cools could make an interesting design. How much do I have of these? I have 40%, right, of this is that yellow-orange color, yellow color. Probably 30% of this overall thing is this burgundy. 20% of that, or it's close to the same, 20 or 30% of that is that kind of peach color. And about another 10% is, so it's about 20, 30, 40, and 10% is blue. So I'm looking at this, I have a bunch, 40% of the yellow-orange, right? Let's say about 20% is that burgundy violet. 30%, I'm not worrying about these colors here. 30% of this kind of peach color, and 10% is the blue. So I've looked at my object, I've broken it down. You will see on the PowerPoint in the lecture, when we look at pieces of fruit, or when I show you other student examples, that variation is based on what you want to do. I've actually covered up part of this object because I only wanted to deal with these 4 colors. So now I have that. What can I do with this? What can I do with all this? There's a whole lot of yellow-orange, I'm calling it here now. What do I want to do with this? Let's take a sheet here as we create one of our designs. Of course, if I have 40% of this, look, 50% if I divided it in half, so I'd have just about that much would be all that yellow-orange, right? All that yellow-orange, if I'm thinking of my design. Does it have to be one whole area? No, it doesn't. I could break that down. I could have an area at the top, an area at the bottom, an area in the center that makes up the 40%. You can almost see that's like an I-beam shape. That's the yellow, right? Maybe then with this 10%, I can have the blue running that way, and then all of this would be the burgundies. That might make for an interesting design. What you're going to do is make little sketches first, as you've done before. And it's going to be 2 objects. I'm showing you one right here as I was thinking about a design as you're considering the proportions of the object, right? And you're going to use two objects, different objects, 2 different designs. And the other component to this is that you're going to be matching, you're going to be giving me pictures and matching the colors as closely as possible. So we're also reinforcing the use of paint or pigment, mixing it to get accurate colors when we're mixing it. So what I have here are some designs based on some student objects. You're going to provide me with the images of your 2 objects, right? You should choose those objects if they're around you. You don't have to. You could find 2 objects online, choose those objects and keep them as pictures. As long as you have clear images with the colors, I will not accept the project at all if I don't see clear images with the colors. I know you can work towards matching those colors as well. You can see here what the student did. Little plan here, right? Gets you thinking about the design before you launch into it. Wanted to use these two Pokemon. What kind of design can I make? Well, these are the 4 colors that were selected from the image. And then this angled design here was considered. Whole lot of blue in this, right? In terms of the percentage, whole lot of blue takes up that part. Less of the colors, work our way down this way, right? So that's thinking about the percentage of the colors from the objects and then making a brand new design considering those colors for this project. And then finally matching or closely matching the colors. This blue isn't so bad, right? There's a little bit of brown there that's really good. That magenta is good. The green, it's close, it's close. On this one, we can see the same little plan that's happening, right? Orange, yellow, purple, and green. I'd say that this green here is dark. It could be even lighter, but I can see some of that in the painting. Not so bad. This could be a bit more red, orange. That would make it close to what's happening. Allowing for these little spotted forms that come along that are colors that were picked out, that's fine in terms of the project. Again, you're providing me with images of the objects you selected. You're thinking about the percentages of the colors. Again, how much blue, how much green, how much magenta, how much of this brown color was there, right? You're then taking that and you're creating your own design from the motivation of those colors. Again, as I had shown you here with mine, this object, 40% of the overall totality of it, right? 30% this peach, 20% that burgundy, and 10% that blue. And I just thought right away here as I'm demonstrating this is I'd like to break up that yellow, break it up, there, and lower here. Now that's not quite 40%. Remember how I was measuring the 40%? So then I thought I would do that. Of course, you can use your ruler here. As I'm demonstrating, I'm using my hand. Knowing that this is going to be the yellow, again, do your tests to match your colors, to make sure you get color matching as well on a little sketch. Then I wanted to have these 2 bands of blue. Again, there's not much blue that's a part of the object, only 10% of that. And this would be the blue, and this would then be what I'm calling the burgundy violet, right? And this would be the burgundy. So I have this kind of eye form in yellow with the blue, thinking about the temperature that happens with the blue and the yellow, or the blue and even the burgundy. Now, looking at the colors here, some colors might come close, like cerulean to this blue. Obviously, this color isn't in here. How can I find out how to make that color? I'm going to refer to my color wheels, refer to my tint and tone charts as well. You can see this yellow isn't completely in here. I know that's more of a yellow-orange, so I'm going to work those colors, mix those colors to match that color. That's the other point, again, as I had said, of this project, being able to match colors. So regardless of your objects, you're providing me with images of them. So I know that the colors you were using to kind of for motivation for your designs. You're creating on any scrap of paper or something 2 kind of mock-ups of how you want to take those colors and turn them into new designs, thinking about the overall proportion of the color. Here with Eeyore, there's some of that purple, there's some blue, a little bit of that, and then that blue ball makes up a pretty nice portion. And so you can see how that was used to create this design. Lights angled up, you have the darker circular form there. You are not at any time making drawings of these objects. Again, you are not making drawings of the objects. I would emphasize that in the PowerPoint as well. You're using the object as a motivation for color, the amount of color, 3 or 4 colors, break it down and create your own design so that you can come away with unique designs that were based on motivations of objects that you selected. So that's the Nature Project 3.